first year or two going on my own, I was undercharging, which was devaluing my efforts, my passion, my knowledge, my skill.
But when would you say you have to start kind of like that a little bit because you're untested and unproven at that stage?
Potentially, but I think I was still undercharging even though I was proven. And even now, my coaching price locally, you could argue, is top end. You know, if you look at like a PT hourly rate, right? If Northwest base can be, say, average 30, 40 quid an hour, maybe 50 in some places. You go down south, mate, they're 100 quid an hour.
Yeah.
So how as an online coach do you position yourself on that? Again, a PT is, as you're aware, with the client for that 1 hour. An online coach is giving them the tools to go in the gym for the hour, but giving them all that support in the 23 hours outside, working on the sleep, working on the recovery, working on the nutrition, working on the behaviours. So even if you said, okay, if you're paying £50 an hour for the PT, that's £200 a month if you're having one a month. But we yield far better results as online coaches than we would in person. So should I not be more? And the way I try and price point it now is for value for what I can do. But when you relate it to reality of life, I believe that I'm still undervalued because, and say if I was having a consult call with you and I told you the price and you went, maybe a bit too much. Where is that perceived value coming from? Because if we look at today's society, which is cost of living, right? People will happily spend their cash on a Domino's a week and potentially a Starbucks every day. Would you agree that that's 50, 60 quid a week?
Yeah, easy for some.
So if I say to someone, I'm circa £60 a week to work with me, and the level that we get, I basically speak to my 60 clients most days, every day. They get my time with a full check-in, with support calls, with that. You know, if you're having a call with a nutritionist, you're £200-300 for half an hour call. You know, they've got me all month with all the extra stuff. So I go, if your perceived value of that cash exchange for a Domino's and a Costa is 60 quid, but I'm too expensive. For what a Domino's and a Costa does to you is gives you a short-term taste satisfaction and then a big shit. What I do is I change your fucking life. So I'm actually 10 times the Costa. So I should be 6 ton a week, but I'm not, right? And when you put it into reality, I believe that for what most businesses provide people as a self-employed business, the time, the effort, the passion, we are undervalued to what people are conditioned to spend on the normal things that they spend on, which is food and drink. And that's a big issue. I agree initially from starting off, you kind of go, okay, let's create that authority and prove myself. But even when you work upwards, when you perceive what people spend on shit to what you provide to them, be it a next level life-changing service or a quality clothing brand that stands for something, we should be more, but society doesn't allow us to push that.
Yeah, my mum won't listen to this, but my mum done it recently actually, that her PT has moved from a 5-minute drive to a half an hour minute drive, and she was like, I don't think I'm going to go because it's too far. And I was like, you're saying a half an hour drive, it's too much to invest in yourself for your own health at a more, like at an older age, do you know what I mean? She was willing to not do anything because it was 25-minute more drive 2-3 times a week or something like that. And I was saying the same thing, like how much do you value like your health in your older years compared to a 25-minute drive?
I believe it's perceived effort. So if I and I've done this video when I was first started, if I said to you, swallow this USB stick, right? and you will wake up in the morning in the shape that you want, but it's 10 grand. I guarantee I would sell 10 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, people will get a loan or a credit card, right? I'm £60 a week. I'm going to give you my skill, my passion, my effort. I'll help you overcome every problem, educate you, but it requires your effort. Nah, too expensive. So you've just proven, and I've had this conversation with people. People have said I'm too expensive, but then spent 6 grand on a gastric bypass.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a cost. It was your perceived for you being a lazy twat.
Yeah.
And people don't like that. But I stand by my business being very, very real. And I think people know JK Physique for being that. So I stay on brand. And the truth hurts, right? But again, in line with like businesses and things, these are all the problems I face with getting clients on board within the fitness industry, because it takes effort. And I've just literally, I'll read this comment now. A client's just messaged me back. So one of my clients is currently struggling. Okay, she older lady, over the age of 60, does well for herself, but loves wine. But the wine controls her, so it can't be a glass; it's a couple of bottles, and this is where the
Yeah.
weight becomes an issue. So on the check-in feedback, I go into like JK, therapist, agony aunt, all these sort of hats. And and the one I said to her was, I need to ask you a question, Carol. What do you love more? The Christmas food and drinks, or the person that you want to become? And she's come back and basically said, like, I love this approach, like, and then quoted it. It's really given me perspective, because it's so easy for me to say, don't have the wine and get fit. But I've got to get people to relate to that. Like, you're telling me you want this result, but you're having wine, which is stopping it. You tell me then, who do you want? What do you want more, the taste or who you want to be?
Yeah.
You know the answer. Okay, so now we put it in. So there's so much to a developing business. I think as a business owner, not only are you developing the brand, the marketing and getting people known, but your brand has to be known for, I think, your founder, director, CEO beliefs and ethos into what you're doing, which goes into the brand.
Yeah, because I remember you saying the exact same stuff years ago. Like, it's not as if you've just come across this and now you're starting to sprout it. I remember for years that this is the type of stuff that you've been saying on your videos and on Instagram
Yeah,
for years.
yeah. Be you, be you. So
Yeah,
your passion now is strongman. Your passion now is strength training. You develop that passion, that mindset, that personality, and what that personality means into then a clothing brand, right?
yeah,
So it's like what people say, like, well, what's JK Physique? JK Physique, yes, it's like this initial cringy saying JK Physique baby after every video and thing, but it stands for something. It stands for overcoming the hurdles. It stands for not following the norm of society and falling for that trap. So when you develop a business or a brand, it's important that everything that you stand for and believe is that mission statement, is that ethos, is that development, rather than
yeah.
going, oh, I'm doing what this is because the other coaches say it's good.
It's something I'm going through a lot more now with this brand about basically developing and creating a brand and creating an image and what does the brand stand for. I'm doing it a lot more with this clothing than I did with the gym, whether that is just obviously inexperience of running a business, but I put a hell of a lot more work into developing a brand and a structure with the clothing than I did the gym. And I noticed a difference. But when you first started, did you go straight online? Was that you straight into it, or was you just sort of local one-to-one coaching, and
No,
then it was
online,
like, oh, I can branch out?
yeah, online first. It was just, I don't know why, it was just because I was online coaching before I had a PT qual.
Right.
The dangerous thing for online coaching is there's no regulation
Yeah.
for for a PT to work in a corporate gym, they'll want you to be qualified, but you can still get public liability without a qualification. I just don't agree with the PT qualification. They're just given out.
Yeah.
So I was online, but when I say online, it was like WhatsApp. So it was a Word document for the training. It was then the meal plan sent on WhatsApp. They were checking on WhatsApp. The development now is, a branded app. I have systems to manage all clients that when they check in, they're in a traffic light system. So depending on everything's like automated at this point. So if their week's been an 8, 9, 10, that will automatically put them in the green column for that check-in week. If they're 1 to 4, they're red. So every week, depending on the first question and they answer, I know whether they've had a good or bad week. So the development of then the business to manage the clients has gone tenfold. So it was always online. I did a bit of in person, excuse me, during lockdown.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. It was a no-brainer. People couldn't get in gyms. I had this state-of-the-art kit that I just converted. It's like, why not? But again, me being very real, I can't just sit there going, yeah, this is great. I'm PTing people and they're going, well, how do I lose this? And I'm like, diet. And because I was so real to the result and the reality of what a real result is, I wasn't getting a satisfaction from the in-person PTing, because I'm like, I can beast you all day in here, but if your goal is fat loss and it's not strength training, then this is okay. We might change a little bit physically. You might grow some new tissue, but is your goal tissue or fat loss predominantly? Fat loss, then it has to be diet. Well, can you give me a diet plan? Not for £25 a fucking hour on top of this. No. Like, that's my forte. That means that if you want a real nutritional plan that's bespoke to you, and I coach you around where your hunger levels are, and I think we did the same with you, right? We were looking at, well, where are you hungry? Where are you not? How do we push performance? It becomes individual to that person around the daily activities and the plan and training. What's the result? I mean, I would openly say to people, like, let's look at the industry as well. And obviously I know I'm going on here, but little things like getting your teeth done or women getting the boobs done or little things like that, they now have systems where they can take a picture of you, take a future picture of what it would look like with the next thing. That sells. If I had this, and this could be a business opportunity if anyone listens and one, I'm subject rights here if anyone's got the money to help me. If I could create a system that wasn't Photoshop, that was putting you in with an algorithm of data created of you and the foods that you would eat and how that would help you and what you would look like, I could charge 5 times what I charge now because it shows the result. People don't know what they're getting. And that's a massive, massive issue. Where for businesses like bathrooms and things, they can show what the bathroom would look like. 25 grand. Oh yeah, but I can see what it looks like.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I get you. So everything seems to just go swimmingly for you. But I wanted to know, what challenges did you come up, or was there any sort of hairy moments, or when we went into lockdown, was there things where you started to struggle or lose clients, or is it pretty been plain sailing?
I was kind of at a wall. So I was like sitting around, 18, 25, 28, 26, 20, 27 clients up and down. And as I say, I was undercharging massively. I was charging at this point something like 75 quid a month. What's that? Like less than 20 quid a week. Yet these people are messaging me all fucking day, every day. So when you work out, like, what's my hourly rate here, I'm being abused. But when I would discuss price increases, people are like, oh, people are all going to leave you. And that puts that fear in, well, what should I charge?
Yeah.
But what I've found in the industry is, like you say, now I'm like, what, 4 times that? You attract a different type of person that actually truly values it. Because since I got rid of those type of people, the business went up. Now I still get people that will pay me, my average rate of £250 a month, which is 60 quid a week, based on Costa and a Domino's, that still don't do it. So I think that if it was £1,000 a month, would they let that go and not do it?
Yeah.
I'd say no. So for those individuals that are paying 60 quid a week, the perceived value of that, losing that money and not getting a result to them, isn't worth it. So how do you then price that out? So the problems and the challenges, like through business, I think, is dealing with people. So, as any business would have like a contract, and I did, because initially I didn't. So what was happening was I got told that legally you need a 14-day cooling off period when you're providing a service, like any gym or anything would, right? If you're charging a subscription. So I would set up nutrition plans, training plans, and then they would sort of advocate, okay, I'm losing me 14 days cooling off period. I'm like, well, you've just got all this for fucking free. So I'm like, well, that doesn't work. So I'm speaking to like solicitors and that, and it was obvious. It was like, there's difference between goods and services. So, okay, you can leave the service, but you've got to pay for the goods. But I had to stipulate that in my contract. So I had to basically get abused and people being clever, going, well, I can get this for free and then leave. None of them got results. The plan didn't work. The coaching is what they need. So then I put that into it, and then that grew. But obviously, as then your clientele increases, which isn't a problem or a challenge, but managing bigger numbers becomes a problem, which means that you need systems to help manage them, which means then overheads come up, all these costs. I haven't got the time to send 70 emails or messages on a Saturday to remind everyone to check in. That needs automated. That's going to cost. And this is what people don't see. So they just think, well, JK Physique has 70 clients. He charges $250 a month. That means he earns X. I fucking wish. 1, there's fucking tax, and 2, there's all these system costs.
Yeah.
So people will, as a small business, a privately owned business, the face of the business will take a different approach to how they perceive you than they would a big corporation. And the reason why I know that is because of the comments that they make about what you earn. Does anybody ever buy an iPhone and go, Mr. Apple's fucking minted? They're not art, they just buy the phone. But if they will start buying off you or me, they start calculating what do you as an individual earn. Which, I mean, I'm not asked doing the maths on what other people do, but it makes them treat you differently on whether they want to work with you or not. When I was starting a supplement business, right, that's been a massive challenge. People would say, I'm already paying you for coaching, so I'm not going to buy your supplements and pay you for those as well.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, but are you getting supplements? Yes.
It's like they don't want to give you too much money.
So what I learned from it was they don't like knowing whose pocket they're feeding. So they would rather go to my protein, where it was dearer than what I was selling mine at, and shitter, but pay that because they didn't want to pay me more.
Yeah.
But I was like, well, let's start, like, you're not paying me more, you're paying the business more. It's a separate limited company. But because I'm still the face founder of the business, that's how people treat me. So that was a massive learning curve for me on being a face of the business as well. And it's like why now, like with the challenges that I get when people sign up and they sign like a minimum term of 16 weeks, I don't want to work with anyone for 4 weeks. It's pointless.
Yeah.
For what I advocate for real coaching. If you want a 4-week plan, go to another coach. But then they'll agree to it and then go, oh, I'm not sticking to it, I'm not paying you. That becomes a problem. And then it becomes a patronising conversation of, if you took out a phone with O2, 24-month contract, and you didn't pay it or left, what would happen? It's the same with any business. But when I go down those avenues going, hey, I've done everything, me and you signed a contract, I'm a prick, I'm a bully.
Yeah.
And again, I'm like, are you ringing O2 telling them they're bullies? No, you just know and are conditioned to that's how businesses work. But when you know the face of the business, you treat it different. That for me is one of
Especially
the
if they know you as well.
yeah. But again, it's like you're not going to bully me into not running my business as it should be.
Yeah.
But they try and make you think that. Well, wait till I go on social media. Wait till I go on social media and say that I'm a business and I'm making you pay what you agreed to pay, and I've done okay. Go and do it. So those things that most businesses won't talk about because it's negative, it puts your business in bad light, I will happily discuss. Why? Because I'm JK and I'm on brand and I say it as it is. But these are the challenges that most people don't foresee these businesses dealing with, especially small businesses, and the pressures and the stress that that puts people under. And not just from a financial aspect, but like a worthy aspect of, I'm putting all my time, my passion and efforts into the business and what I do. And you think you can come in and just take the piss? Like,
Yeah. Do you find as well? I find like not loads, but people expect cheaper because they know you. Like you're not like
yeah,
just because they know you. Like at the minute, I've invested quite a bit on high quality clothing. Like, and I'm gonna do a little video on it about what makes one t-shirt higher quality than another t-shirt, because I feel like people don't know, and then when I say this is high quality, did you just think, oh, is it? Do you know what I mean? What makes it high quality? So I was going to do a video, and basically one of the I don't know if you know, but basically one of the basic things to see a quality of a t-shirt is this GSM
yeah,
number, basically. Yeah, so I've just invested, and the t-shirts I've got are the heavy cotton, so the 330 GSM. Normally a decent t-shirt is around, say, but a high quality decent is 200, but these
okay.
are 330, so they're like really high quality, because I wanted to push the brand up. But then I think when people go to buy it off me, they'll be put off by the price, but I think you don't actually know how much this costs. It's high quality. Just because I'm a small brand at the minute, it doesn't mean that my products are like any less than, you could probably go to a high
So
street.
I think there's two aspects onto that, and it linked to the protein business. I didn't want to make a protein that was shit,
Yeah,
right? So
yeah,
you'll have had the same logical mindset. What issues do I currently see within the clothing industry? Poor quality material, which means it doesn't feel right, it doesn't wash right, it doesn't last. That
yeah,
would have been a natural thought process for me going into clothing. Same with the protein. It doesn't taste well, it doesn't mix well. So I wanted to create a protein that mixed well, tasted well, which meant higher quality costing ingredients, which
yeah,
meant that as a starting business and not buying thousands and thousands and thousands of units to keep the to get a better sort of margin on them was hard. What I
yeah,
found that no one was asked. People
yeah,
just bought protein because it was protein. Well, I'll just get the cheap and shit stuff, but then still
yeah,
complain it was poor. Trying to get that out locally when people don't fucking like me was difficult. So I think from a t-shirt standpoint and a hoodie standpoint and a clothing standpoint, I think it would slowly get known that people go, this feels nice.
yeah,
That I think is the only attribute that you can get is once more and more people wear it and they actually go, this feels great. The balance of price point to what people stand by how a hoodie or top feels is probably like quite a fine balance to try and get.
yeah. And the only issue is you've obviously got to outlay quite a bit and then get the initial sort of purchases. But where'd you price it at the start to get the initial purchases for people to go, oh, actually, it really is quality stuff. Do you know what I mean? It's just a bit where I've got to now, where I've created some decent stuff. I started off with some low quality t-shirts. I was like, that does not work for me. So I upped it a bit to like the sort of mid to top range. Well, say mid range, but stuff that you could wear in the gym, but you could also wear casually. And now I'm looking at stuff that you'd wear out. It's like that. It keeps its shape perfect. I like the colours. It's plain and simple. But getting it out there with the initial high cost of it, I find that this is where I'm at now. It'd be a bit of a sticky point where you're doing a lot of outlay and not getting a lot of income until it's out there. Especially like bringing out a jacket, like a soft shell jacket, where you would expect, if you put any other well-known label on it, you could charge 100 odd quid. But who's going to buy that off a little old me with this little brand?
That's where marketing and brand is huge.
And that's why I say I've been spending a lot of time on the computer. I keep saying to myself, work on the business and not in the business. So I'm doing a lot of like structure-based, building this brand, trying to get quality content out.
But like little things that would take that off is like having influencers wear them.
Yeah, that's
it's making the brand known and stand for. It's I don't know if you watched that guy on Instagram called Still Ryan.
No, I've not come across him.
Like Scouse kid in Liverpool, basically just as for years gone around doing content. He's become that known because he's been consistent. He's now brought out. He's teamed up with Tony Bellew, I think, and brought out this now. Looks very much like what's it? Montrain or Mount.
Yeah. I know what you
That
mean.
aspect. Quality looks like quality, but he's now just got into like Dirty Kids in Liverpool and Heighton. So obviously he's become known, teamed up with another guy, created this clothing, which is all about just your standard Northwest, maybe Scouse culture, wearing your trackies, your pants, that sort of Mount Treks stuff, because everyone climbs fucking mountains these days. It's a new revolution. Jumping in on that.
Have you worked with any influencers when you were trying to get yourself out
one
there?
thing that I have done and do, but again, perceived value. So when I basically, the way the world works in marketing is eyes, right? So you can either pay money to try and get it pushed on magazines, radio, internets, Facebook ads, whatever. Or can you just work with someone where you give them and their followers, because the high basically are a way of saying, oh, hey, here's my result with JK Physique. Whenever I've worked with someone so far, they don't even do it. So they're saying, oh, I'd love this, I'm really stuck. But I'm just another, even though the stuff we do is I'm not sending them like fucking box of sweets and say, tell me this. So just do a video and say the sweets taste good and then plug us.
Yeah.
We're working with you 7 days a fucking week individually. That's our time and passion. And you still can't do it because you're not paying for it.
Yeah.
So there's little things like that. Like, we've got, there's one thing I did to try and grow my following as well, which was I worked with a marketing team and it was $2,000 a month, right? And what they were doing, they were putting like me on all these millionaire mentor Instagram pages, like all the big Instagram pages. Follow this guy. So I was that's where I started getting people from Australia, America, like signing up. So I think over the four and a bit K that I spent with them, I did get a return on it. But my following and my engagement for the business going forward now is skewed. I'd say 60% of my followers are Indians.
Right.
But that like live in mud huts, like could never afford coaching.
Yeah.
And message me the goals saying that they want to grow an inch. And I thought when the first guy said it was taking the piss, but like a lot of them actually want to think that you can grow height.
Right.
So my response was like, buy high heels. So that skewed it. So there's a lot of things.
So would you say that worked, or not for the money? Because obviously that's another thing
yes.
I think of. Like do a trying to invest into it, because you get hundreds of messages from marketing, and I just never know whether it's worth.
The real marketing for me is, so you see my rash at the minute I'm fighting. So what I did do was when I hit a wall, I hope you don't mind me half plugging this if any other coaches are seeing this, but I signed up to the OTE, which is an online trainer education. So it's a business mentorship for personal trainers that basically want to go online. Now, Adam Haley, who's the founder of the OTE, basically reached out to me in I think it was 2019, 2018 when I started doing a bit of it. And I was like, who the fuck's this guy? And we laugh about it now. How are you going to help me? I'm a coach. And I had a bit of an ego. I can get results. So I put it off for 2 years and I was following him. And I'm seeing these coaches doing 8K months, 10K months, 15K months. And I'm like, what the fuck, So I finally bit the bullet. I spoke to Zoe because it was an investment at the time, for a year. I got back my investment in 6 weeks.
Right.
My coaching business went, and all it was teaching me this actually how to develop the systems as a business and how to just market yourself, word it differently. And I've been with the OTE now nearly just under 3 years. I moved into what's called the inner circle, which is higher level, higher earning coaches to then develop you from a sole coach to then a team staff coaches under you to try and grow.
Yeah.
And teach you all that aspect. So I've been with it that long now that I actually also work for Adam, and I now coach coaches to be better coaches. So, I've got 50, 55 coaches now under me that I'm taking from ground zero to hopefully, where I am and beyond. So for me, that's opened avenues, that I didn't just sign up to this coach like most people do, and after 6 months go, I'm done, or reach this potential height in business and go, I'm done. My mindset is, okay, I've climbed one mountain, what's the next? A lot of people have it within because we'll share revenues and things. We'll go, okay, what do you turn over monthly, yearly? And they'll go, great, I'm done, see you later. And I'm like, well, I'll just go on my own. Do you not think you're going to face problems that you did when you started? When you hit 15K, do you think there'll be a new problem? When you hit 20K months, do you think there'll be a problem? When you hit 30K months, you need people around you. Or are you done? And I'm never done. So it's okay, I don't know what the ceiling is, but it's I always make sure I want people around me in my circle through a business that when I have this problem, I've got them. When I have this problem, I've got them. And then as the business grows, because, although it has not been any dramatic growth for about 2 years, we've sort of been consistent, which I suppose is good in itself for businesses, right? To actually just be consistent. When we're pushing and trialing these new things for business, it's okay, when I hit that, will there be a problem that I need assistance with? So that was a big game changer for me, and what I think was a massive change around for my personality type of, I want to learn, I want to take on board, I want to trial things and see how it works. And I know from a marketing standpoint, I probably leave a lot of money on the table because I don't give people what they want. I give people what they need, which most of the time is not what they want. Yeah. So they go elsewhere, but then they fail. But hopefully in the future they come back, But I work with some crazy high caliber people at the minute, and I'm working with a guy that basically has got more money than sense, and then you're dealing with that personality type as a challenge where they're asking for a discount on coaching, but you're well, I don't want to devalue my service, but tell you what, discount. But if you get 15 kilograms off me, I'll give you $2.5 bonus. So you're getting into these different circles and mindsets of people where you learn and grow from that. And I think anyone that wants to grow a business, it's I don't think you can always have a full plan of where you want to go. You can have a drive and ambition.
Yeah.
But I think you've got to understand that it's never going to be fucking easy.
That's one of the things I always think when you sort of do your research initially on businesses, and it's I have a business plan, and I always think it's all well and good having a business plan, but you just find something that works a little bit, and then you ride that wave, don't you? And then you develop ideas from that, and straight away you're off plan of where you're initially. It's like a developing business plan all the time, I'd say.
Yeah, and I think from the data you can develop that plan. So, for instance, if you go, okay, I'm now selling 10 hoodies a week, right? And to do that, we're messaging X, we're putting so many ads out, we're speaking to so many people. Okay, so if I want to sell 20 hoodies, I've got to double all that in logic. So as the business grows, you can get that data and start going, okay, if we're doing this and that results in this, then to double that, we need to do that. Okay, let's start taking that notes down and pushing that. Okay, how do we do that? Do we need more staff? Do we need to put more money aside to market, etc.? So I think that's where then a lot of people fail, is like when they hit a milestone, it's like to go higher, you've probably got to grow.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, some people are looking the businesses just take off. But I think as you go self-employed as well, the biggest challenge I think is that you'll never, in my opinion, get away of that anxiety of the business could fold overnight.
Yeah.
You
never stop thinking about it. Whether you, well, I'm sure you're the same. Like sometimes I'm dragged away from the computer at 11, and I've started at 8 because I quit my full-time job to give this 100%, because at the time it was a dream. If only I had the time, I could do this and I could do that. And in the end, I was like, just quit and give it. Then you've got no excuses. If it doesn't work, then you know it doesn't work then. But now I do not stop obsessing about it because I'm so determined to make it work.
And you can see that because then you've gone straight into this. You know, your ideas are flowing, and that's where the passion comes from. Passion will, like a lot of people say to me when they speak to me, and I start talking about the industry and that, they go, you can see your passion, and I think that goes a long way with a brand.
Yeah, it definitely does. So like I said, I've like watched and I've known you for a long time, and you was one of the first people I thought of when doing this, because I said to you at the start, and I wanted someone professional, and I can't think of anyone else as professional in the like the coaching game as yourself, and you've been the same person throughout. You've not changed.
Yeah,
it's just developed. Has there been anything that hasn't worked, like ideas that you've tried and things
just the perceived? So the initial growth was crazy, and then I've then got this milestone that I want to hit, and I've been saying I want to hit it for the last 2 years, and I haven't. So it's okay, why? Now there's so many potential spinning plates as to why. So why? Now I believe my engagement on Instagram is shocking, and I think this marketing thing that I did, although I got clients around the world for, it has massively impacted my engagement. My sole business is ran from Instagram, so engagement for me is big. Like I don't get more than 300 views on stories, no matter what I do. I've tried every trick in the book that every marketer talks about. I've tried. It goes back to 299, 301. So if I'm putting stuff on my stories, not everybody's seeing it consistently. That's eyes that I'm not getting. So there's that. That's then where, okay, can I buy eyes? So I have to spend, I've spent a couple of grand a month on just trying to get advertisements on Instagram, sponsor them, trying to get eyes. I shouldn't have to do that if I didn't have the challenge of the engagement, you know? So that's been a push because, as you said before, like you to grow the business, you need to work on the business and not in it. So there was one point last year I got up to like 86 clients, and it was tough, you know, and because of the amount of time I give each client, it's not just like, oh, let's check them in at the weekend, that's it. It's like fuck it, all week, calls, the lot. So it was then, okay, I need to potentially cap my numbers, which gives me X more time free. Well, not free, but to go, okay, I want to work on this change in the business. And I'm always looking at what's not working. So little changes like the coaching app that we have has like an instant messenger in it. And I used to think, great, everything's in one place, nutrition, training, data, messaging. But client rapport, client adherence, client retention was a little bit shit. So I was like, I struggled to even get responses. Hey, mate, how's your week going? Nothing. So I made the decision to keep everything in the app but messaging. So messaging now is WhatsApp. Game changer. Something so simple because I've moved it to a platform that everyone's used to.
Yeah.
So I might get a client sending a selfie going, hey, I've just finished my role, or I've just finished this. So I think as businesses as well, it's always like, okay, what isn't quite taking off, or what's a bottleneck? Okay, what can I do to improve it? So those are like the consistent challenges that I hit. Like for me, it's always come into the business now, which has been.
I was just going to ask you about that then. How
I
did
think
that
the
come
word
about?
has been like, it's hard to describe. It's quite a personal emotion, because to develop JK Physique to what it currently is, to go through the shit that I go through anyway, with people trying to slow you down, people ringing clients that they've seen signed up going, don't sign up to him, and then making lies up, like people having a personal vendetta to try and cloak, which is food off my kid's table, right? That's the way I flip. That's how personal I take it. To grow a business is fucking hard. To do it with people coming at you, and this is why people go, how do you keep going? Because I won't be beaten. That is so frustrating, but I'll keep doing what I'm doing, and I'll work 10 times harder. So to go to JK Physique, to a position where the wife has been in an industry since she was 16, for her to come out that industry and then obviously bring it at home, for the issues that had been at home, and not our home being our home, and her dealing with people that she didn't want to deal with, for then me going as a business and going, you now need to up your prices and value how good you are. People come to you for you. They don't come to you because of where your salon is. Let's face it, witness is shit. Why are they coming here? So price you for you, value. That was a difficult conversation. And then we had the issue of trying for the baby over a year, which was like massive frustration on both parts. While I'm still trying to grow the business. So there's like double stress. And I've lost a bit of weight initially now, because if I don't eat, I lose weight. Science. Hint to anyone that thinks they don't lose weight and not eat. And I lost a lot of weight through that process. And to get to a point where she's like, I think I'm falling out of love with, hairdressing, but she lives the life with me. I chat shit all day, so you can't escape with the education and the natural coaching ethos that I do. And for her to go through the process of the photo shoot and everything, and it was like quite, I don't even know what word I'm looking for, but to be able to go like, initially, don't work weekends anymore, which for a hairdresser is like unheard of.
Yeah.
To give us then family time to go out on a weekend, that was like, wow, I've been able to give that. Like my blood, sweat, and tears and non-stop working has allowed for this. Otherwise, it couldn't happen. Or it was like more debt and credit cards, which we've had for years. Then it was a case of them building it out, going, would you come on board? And that was then a development for me as well on how to manage a team, which is a skill itself. Like how to speak to a team, how to not feel like you're patronising someone. And it's then difficult transition between wife,
Yeah.
coach and business partner. So there's
Extra hard.
all and then massive crazy things. But, I sit here and think like, I've built it to a position where we went through lockdown and come out the other side. We went through Zoe's maternity, where most people in maternity have to give up everything because they're on maternity pay. We didn't. And then when the frustrations come, well, you're always working. It's like, I know I am, but I've got to do more than the average to achieve more than the average, which most business owners don't see and don't want to put in. And then for it to now to come into the team and for us to kind of try and push this next level together, without the stress of, okay, we're now a salary down, is I don't know what word, but it's kind of, it's just a nice fucking feeling that, you know, I've built this to this position and let's see what's next.
So what's the setup now between us? How do you work it? If someone comes into JK Physique, how did he end up with you or Zoe, or what's the setup of it?
So Zoe's obviously just predominantly just wants to work with women.
Yeah,
So if women come in, fat loss, okay, Zoe, because I'm obviously trying to not overdo my numbers. Otherwise, there's no other time to develop the business. But if somebody comes in that's not the natural fat loss person, like maybe they've got a binge eating disorder, maybe they're a diabetic, basically higher level nutrition knowledge needed, then I'll take them on, male or female. Any natural female that just wants to lose weight, then they go to Zoe. And that's been that natural development. It's still the same business, so I'm still like say head coach, but we've come into the business mutual.
yeah,
So we're both directors. Like, you know, it's not that, but and then so like if you come into the business now and I coached you, it'd be me and you one-to-one WhatsApp, and you'd be in the community WhatsApp. If someone goes to Zoe, then I'll create a group with me, you, and Zoe. Zoe's your coach, but I'm in the background. I don't get involved. But as the main business owner, if there was like an issue and you started kicking off, you're unhappy with the service, then at least I can go in and deal with that. So that's kind of how we run it. But, you know, Zoe's like, I think 12 clients deep now, getting some really, really, really good results. And again, this is a development for her and me. You know, I've now got I think we do sometimes struggle to switch between
yeah.
business and
Understandable.
wife, because I'm always business minded. It's like,
Yeah.
have you done this? What about this? What about this? Well, it's like, you know, well, what, can we just go out and not speak about it?
Yeah. So I seen something on Instagram that was very intriguing. So you can enlighten us on the Dubai trip that I seen from both of you.
Yeah.
That
So
caught my
basically,
eye.
I love giving back. So we wanted to do something as like anything, like an incentive. Like, I'm dead honest. Like, you can talk about marketing, but you want to lose shape, and you want to lose shape and be in a chance with winning a fucking holiday.
Yeah, I nearly signed up myself.
Then that's it. So we had to make. I mean, fuck me, mate. We boosted that post, right? I don't know if you've seen the comments. Everyone just coming at me going cringy, turkey teeth, user liars, scam artists.
No way. I said
Yeah,
I was.
honestly, mate. Like, so one lad commented on it and went cringe, and I clicked his profile. Now I hate bullies, right? I was obviously bullied as a kid, but when I go back at people now, they call me a bully. I'm like, no, by me putting you in a place, it's called defense. So this guy commented cringe, and I clicked his profile picture, mate, and his fucking hair was fucking straight up, straight up. So I literally couldn't help myself. I was actually laughing. Like, I found myself more funny than I am. But I literally put cringe or fringe, and he fucking didn't reply.
I can't
but
believe people would neg something like that. I thought it was amazing. Like it really caught my eye when
Well,
I seen
do
it.
you know what I mean? But people, like some guy put on it scam. So I deleted the comment, and then he comments again, you've removed it. This couple were in the newspapers for scamming people. And I was like, but then I went in his profile, it was like a black profile. I went, that's
Yeah,
someone we know.
yeah.
And again, proven, mate, people will fucking come at your business all the time, or at least mine. But when I find out who they are, and I go at them and I go live, and I go, right, I know who you are, jump on a live with me and we'll discuss it. You're just a bully. Am I? Or you just now realise that you've done it to the wrong fucking person? I won't just let you get away with it. But the Dubai trip, basically, what we're going to be doing, and it's going to be difficult, really difficult. We're literally going to pick somebody that's working with us or has worked with us with a result, and pick it on not just like the physical change, but like, you know, everything, like the lifestyle changes. Have they been able to consistently change? Have they overcome certain barriers above the norm? And all we're going to do is basically fly them out to Dubai with us. We're going to have like a bit of a photo shoot, whether it's a physique change photo shoot or just in clothes, but like, you know, like just a content style photo shoot. Train with them, take them out for food, and then they can have 2 days then on their own while we do business stuff.
So how did you come up with that idea? I've never seen anything from
networking with other coaches. So the network that we have with other coaches, there's zero ego. Like most coaches have egos to protect the business, right? We have this agreement that let's discuss ideas, let's discuss what works well. You know, one coach that we network with, mate, charges $1,800 a month. So me and you wouldn't be his fucking client, right?
Yeah.
The level of his client is that. So you're seeing and getting into these conversations with people. That's why I talk all the time about who's in your circle.
Yeah.
Like, and all that shows to me is like, I could be that guy. So that it's not jealousy, but it's inspiring. How have you got what like? And this is exactly what you're doing on this. Just trying to get awareness out and conversations and ideas and light bulb moments for your own business and for other people and other businesses to listen and go, fucking hell, what is possible? Because me and you are no better or worse than each other, right? Everything's possible. It's just taking action and putting that consistent drive and overcoming the barriers and doing little things like that. Don't get me wrong. To date, nobody signed up for that reason. But on the flip side, what does that do? That allows my clients to go, fuck, I want that.
Yeah.
So I'm going to work harder. The flip side of that is we get a better result from it. That means a better transformation, better social proof, potentially more people signing up because of that result. So my mum and dad were like, Jesus, son, like, how are you getting that money back? And I went, it's not a direct return.
Yeah.
It's sometimes in businesses, it's like, what would that result in as a byproduct that could benefit the business? And that's kind of the way it's gone. Not only that, let's face it, when we do it, because apparently we're scam artists, it's going to look fucking cool, right?
Yeah. Tried it on a smaller scale because of something that I seen. You'd have heard of him. I hadn't heard of him before this, but basically when me and Steph went to Ibiza, I seen this top and it said Represent. I'd never heard Represent. And I was just like, oh, that's a nice top, isn't it? One guy, Represent. I thought it was a custom-made top. And then as we got to Ibiza, I seen another guy in a different group with Represent. I was like, he's got Represent on as well. The first time I seen it, I spent about 2 seconds thinking about it. Second time I seen it, I was like, that's Represent again. And then next day or later on, there was like a group of lads and about 4 of them had Represent on. And I was like, they've all got Represent on. And it kind of light bulbed me that it's all well and good me walking around with Viking Press on. No one pays it a blind bit of attention. But if someone else, the same person sees someone else with Viking Press on, and then someone else, it starts to think, what's this Viking Press? I won't mind one of them. And it's only because you see more and more people wearing it. So I went and bulk bought a load and made a load of tops just to give out to people. And it was a strongman niche. I was kind of throwing that up. So I made them and just give them out to people. I was like, I don't need a post or anything. I was like, just wear it whenever you want to wear it, if you're training or whatever. And it thought it'll just
like pencils. Like I went into Lunstead School, right, teaching the kids. Every kid got a JK water bottle and a pencil.
Yeah.
Went on eBay, printed. Because would they wear me hoodie? No. But then what I taught them was the JK physique saying. I knew kids would repeat it. So what you've got to say, kids, is like with an American twang, JK. Literally, I'm walking out the school with Daisy and they go, Mum, Dad, there's JK physique, baby. Next minute, I'm getting mums and dads on my Instagram.
Yeah.
So people, I can't go into Tesco now, mate, without someone shouting it. We did Tough Mudder, and I'm swimming across this fucking lake, and these 3 lads I don't even know who they are going, oh, JK physique, baby. So, as cringe as that was, if you can get known, great. We give every client a free shaker, right? So if all the clients go on gyms, it's got the logo on it. the more, as you've said there, that you can get that seen, and
Yeah.
you've got marketing budget for that and class it as a marketing budget, like I'm going to lose this money just to get eyes and see it, it can only benefit the business. Because there's a very, very good video that you can watch. It's probably on YouTube, and I can't think of the terminology, but it's all about people, basically sheep and follow, right? So there's a video whereby um, there's a festival, right? And everyone's just sat on the grass watching this, okay? This one guy gets up and he's dancing on his own, and everyone's just letting him, well, whatever. Next minute, this confident person goes, fucking hell, I'll join. Then all of a sudden, someone else joins. Before you know it, there's fucking 100 people doing it.
Yeah, it's
And all
that
it takes is
same
that
at a
one
wedding.
person side. So anything like that, if you can start getting people wearing it, and what I say to a lot of people that I work with is like, testimonials are massive.
Yeah.
And people, like clients, go to me, well, what do you want me to say? And I went, I want you to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't want it to be scripted, but follow the script of, who are you? What were your struggles before? What have you achieved? And would you recommend? Say what you want. So those things are powerful on reviews and anything like that. Because a lot of people still go like Trustpilot and written reviews. But I think you've got a social media platform and you're getting someone to verbally talk about their experience.
Yeah.
And you collab with that person, so their followers, it appears on their page, so their followers see it.
Yeah.
Then you're getting more eyes again.
Yeah, like I said, that represent. And then when I come back from IB, I was just on YouTube and I seen a podcast with him on it. Obviously, a millionaire from Manchester, and I thought, even as a millionaire from Manchester with a multi-million-pound brand, I still hadn't heard of him. So why would anyone have heard of me? But it was only when I seen one lad with a top on, 2 seconds worth of notice. But then when I seen someone else, by the time I saw like the seventh lad, I wanted to buy one of these tops, and I still knew nothing about it. But I didn't want to buy it when I first seen it. It was
Yep.
only because I'd seen it 5, 6, 7 times, and I was like, it's like a light bulb moment. I was like, I'm just going to buy a load, print them, I'm just going to give them out. And because obviously being in the strongman circle on Instagram, people training in these tops, and it was black with like it pops with the pink. It was quite
Yeah.
a visual thing.
Yeah.
So I started doing that, and I'm still sort of sending them out to people now. But I just thought, what a good little light bulb moment to have from that.
Yeah.
Seeing that represent.
Yeah.
So almost finishing up, I just want to see, where is JK Physique going? Where's the future?
Like, I mean, it's difficult to say this, but because I know where people see it, but I want it to be doing like multiple six figures. But to get there, that means that the team would need to expand. So for me, I want it as a business that we have a band of coaches. So, we have coaches. So when JK Physique becomes 5, 6, 7 coaches deep, and each coach is their own personality, but they follow the JK ethos.
Yeah. That's what I see. I see that a lot on Instagram these days with a brand like that, and they have the coaches underneath.
It's the only way you can develop, right? I can either increase my rate, or there's always going to be a ceiling to what clients can take on, right?
Yeah.
It's the natural increase my prices, or hire a coach and keep taking them in.
Yeah.
And obviously the coaches come on board because they don't want the stress of running a fucking business. They're happy to just get paid for the clients. And basically someone that gets the clients coming in here have them. So that's kind of the vision for me. Now, one thing I think business owners should always remember is, why are you doing this? Because it's very easy to just get focused on a monetary standpoint, right? Well, I want to earn X to be able to get this house or this car, but or be free, or retire at a certain age. Well, when I've hit certain like monthly revenues, it's like, okay, what like. So it's what we realised, that me and Zoe sat down as we did this vision board. So it was like, where do we want the business going? what material things do we want? That could be house, car, clothes, whatever, watches. What lifestyle factors do we want? And then what like other aspects that we want to potentially give back? So that could be like, I've always said like, Zoe got me one because she said you've not got a real one, which is like a Porsche.
Yeah.
Yeah. Zoe wanted a his and hers bathroom. Like, okay, we need a bigger house, a bigger bathroom, Then like little things like taking my mum and dad on holiday, I'll pay. Do you know those fundamentals? So
Yeah.
when you're working, you remember you're not just doing it for this. Okay, I've earned this money. It's like, what are we working towards? Can I be able to afford to take some time off and go away with the kids? And ultimately, a great asset that the online business has done for me, even though I still have to work every day, is we went on holiday for 3 weeks straight, right? Yes, I worked. I mean, people think I didn't work. Like even Zoe's dad went, oh, you're moaning about not having a day off. You went on holiday for 3 weeks. And I went, I fucking worked every day. He went, you what? And I went, I got up at 5 a.m, went and got the sunbeds. I messaged every single fucking 50, 60 client. Like, I went, oh, and I went, on top of that, then doing content while I'm away, just sat on my phone. So people need to know to grow a business, there is no days off, in my opinion. There's always ideas.
Well, that's what my next thing was going to be to you. What would you offer as advice to someone starting off their own coaching, online, PT business?
For me, I'm always going to promote joining online trainer education. It's changed my life and give me the fundamentals and foundations, and still gives me this circle of growth. But in that essence, you need somebody that's been there, done it, and surpassed it far beyond you as a mentor. Because a lot of people go, well, I'll hit the problems and deal with them on the way. Fucking skip them. I think if you've got a true mentor that's got the passion to actually help you, you're going to skip all the issues. You're going to race past the how many people are creating hoodies, right? How many people want to coach you? So for me, the biggest advice is going to be get a mentor, get rid of people in your life that are going to fucking slow you down, which is a hard conversation. I wouldn't say I've got many mates. I don't leave this office. Success, I wouldn't say is successful, but working on yourself to be just grow and not fall into that comfortable trap of I just work 9 to 5, I get paid a set salary and that's it for life. Trying to never settle and always grow comes with added stress, added worry. Make sure you've got people around you that know and understand that and support that, so they know when to give you, a bit of a pat on the back and say keep going. That they know when to give you a bit of a wide berth because you just deal with your own head. You're saying, have people around you that you can turn to and go, I'm stuck at this point, can I have some friendly advice without any bias, ego or issue? And I think once you get into that realm, you create different circles, you have different conversations, and it's all about growth rather than slagging off everybody else. So make sure that you consistently invest in your knowledge as well. So like you say, how many people have probably gone into clothing and have no idea even over the GSM? So invest in knowledge, keep putting any money back in. How can I improve and how can I be better at what I'm doing? That's kind of like the base, and learn from your mistakes, accept that it's going to be a bumpy ride, accept there's going to be highs, accept there's going to be many days where you think, I can't fucking go on. But there is a great picture that I share with a lot of people, and I don't know if you've seen it, like where these are digging the diamonds, and there's a guy at the bottom that turns around and he's like a swipe away from getting the diamonds. The guy at the top is going. And I'll say that those boulders could take 6 minutes to break down or could take 6 years. We don't know. And the boulders could be a financial issue. It could be a stock issue. It could, I'm talking like for you, it could be like any, you're having an argument with your fucking partner that's made you not be asked one day, like anything, right? If you walk away and think, I'm never getting to the diamonds, that end goal that we can't foresee because you can't see it, you'll never get there. If you
Yeah.
keep fucking chipping away at every barrier that comes your way, at some point, you will get to the diamonds. You will get to where you want to be.
That's one thing I try and do every day, even if I'm not feeling it or I'm feeling ill. I will do something where it's 1 foot in front of the other,
Yeah.
one bit of progress, whether it's one piece of content, whether it's I have a daily, like a daily affirmations type thing, but it's a little list where I follow 5 main accounts, comment on 3 accounts, that type of thing. And that's what I do at my breakfast. So I'll go on, do them, do that, comment on that, like so many of them. And even if that's all I do, it's still 1 foot in front. It's still a consistent step that I've made on the business, no matter what I'm doing or where I am. Even
So
did
how
it.
many accounts do you follow on a daily basis?
I put on me little thing to follow at least 5 main accounts and comment on 3 every day.
I'd be following at least 30 to 40.
Yeah, maybe you should push it up, but it was just something that I started with, and I've
Yeah.
just sort of continued it for the first. Well, I'm only like 2 or 3 months into this business, really, but yeah, it's something that maybe I should push up if I don't see a quick enough return. Then
But if it's then another tip on the business is outsource anything that's dragging you down.
yeah,
Buy back your time. So I have a full-time assistant now that does a lot, even a negative point, which I was talking about the payments and things. Fucking you do. I ain't arguing with someone there's nothing to argue about. The contract's the contract. Go and fucking deal with it. I want to coach people that want me help. So initially she come on like part time. So she's based in the Philippines. Like the wage for them isn't the best anyway, but their work ethic. No one in the UK, if it's not their business, would match their work ethic.
yeah,
They're so appreciative. So for me, I'd be looking at, and we can discuss this off the call, but I'd be looking at getting someone like that on. Literally, like, it sounds wrong for this UK base, but this is the hourly rate, and this is what they go for, which is like £3 an hour, if that. And you could say, listen, 2 hours a day, I went to sit in my Instagram account, and I went to follow 30 accounts based on this audience and profile. And if they follow me back, I want you to send them this welcome DM.
yeah, yeah,
You are job done. For the sake of
yeah,
maybe £80 a month, full time, she can do it 7 days a week. Your account would slowly grow because people will be following you back. And she's sending this welcome DM that you basically say, hey, I'm an up and coming business. Keep an eye out, whatever you want to go with it. When we go live, use this code, 10% off your first order, like whatever. It's getting done for you for peanuts on your end, but for them, you're giving them an opportunity to actually work. And Sam for me started on that, and now she's full time, earning more money than she ever did. I even was in the position then. Her PC broke, her Mac broke, and I was like, I can't survive without Sam. She does so much. And I think obviously there everything's like refurbed times 10.
yeah,
So I was like, how much short are you for this new Mac? And she was like $300. It's like £260. So I went, boom, done. Go and get it. And
yeah, yeah,
she was like, oh, like she couldn't thank me enough. She even recorded a video, in the house with all these curtains that covers the windows and things, like saying like, I can't believe my boss has treated me to this. And I went, just call it an early Christmas present. Like, I'm glad that I'm in a position to do this, but also show it that one, it's gratitude that I want to be able to do this for you, but two, know that you're so
yeah,
valuable to me that I need it. And
yeah,
again, that for me is a great position to be in as growing a business, to be able to find someone that literally works the socks off for me, and me to be in a position to actually give back, but show that I could have gone, oh, fuck it, and I'll find someone else. But that's a big thing for a growing business as well. Like, when you get to a position of staff, like treat them well, and respect them as a person, not just like a fucking number.
Yeah, it is something that I do. That I do try and do everything myself, and I know you shouldn't. And I read everything about outsourcing, but yeah, I am one of them. Like Steph and my dad and my mum actually always say, "Is there anything I can do?" And I'm like, "No, I need to do it." Whereas there probably is little things. Do you know what I mean? But
Yeah, I get it. Like, look, for me, I have to coach, right?
yeah,
I'm a coach to my clients, but do I need to be doing other things that isn't coaching?
yeah,
So,
yeah,
I'd say off the back of this, mate, if you've got like any actual set questions, like Tom always pecks me head over things. With Tom, though, when I give him the advice, he doesn't fucking follow through, and then a year later asks me the same question. Like, have you done that from 12 months ago? No.
yeah,
So anything like that, like I'm more than happy to like go. This is what I did. This is how it worked. Try it. But if you can, you can't. The most valuable thing, mate, is time.
yeah, yeah,
You can be in a position to get time back. I get the initial constraint from an ego protection standpoint of if I do it, it'll be 100% right.
yeah,
But it also develops you as a leader and managing a growing team. If you can then teach that person to do it how you want.
yeah,
So a good way is like you show them, they watch. So record, this is how I want you to do it. Go away, do it. Okay, show me how you did it. Critique it. I would have done it like this, I would have done it like. Spend a couple of weeks teaching them, and then they get to a position where, wow, right, that was hard, and it took more time to get them there. But wow, I've got 3 hours a day back.
yeah, yeah.
Well, I put that 3 hours back in.
It is definitely something I'm going to develop. So, if people want to find you, where can they find you? Where's the best place to contact you?
Instagram, JK Physique. As I say, this is probably the your first podcast that's probably just talked on a tangent and gone off on one, but that's what I'm known for. So JK Physique is the Instagram handle, and obviously then Zoe _ JK Physique as well. Follow us, you'll see what we're about and our content. And as always, mate, appreciate the catch up, and I wish you much success in the up and coming brand.
Thanks very much, and I really do appreciate you coming on because I know you're a busy man. Although maybe not so busy if you're outsourcing and you've got a lot of time back now. But honestly,
Well,
yeah,
mate, I'll be honest, today literally worked the treat. Like, it's the only day where I've set as like admin tasks. So I managed to fit this in. I'll probably still be in here till 10, 11 o'clock tonight, like catching up. But
yeah,
I've always got time, mate, for the good people in the world. So that's no problem on my end.
appreciate it. Well, I'll stop this now and I'll have a chat to you off camera about some of that. So thanks very much, appreciate it.